Hi, it's Larry Cooper with the Experience University. I had a chance to interview Gavin Macgregor-Skinner, Dr. Gavin Macgregor-Skinner. It was fascinating. He was giving us an update on COVID-19, what's happening, where things are, what we should be looking for, how we can help our families, our businesses, and our local community. And I wanted to share with you some of the clips from our interview, just to give you some idea of the things that he was saying. After you see the clips, if you'd like to see the full interview, please do follow along at the end, and you'll see a direct link to about an hour interview with Gavin Macgregor, and then followed by Jeff Jones with GBAC. And GBAC is leading the way in cleaning up environments all over the United States of America. I hope you find it interesting. I hope you find it beneficial. And we look forward to having an opportunity to work with you in the future also, and sharing educational ideas and programs that are current and very important to all of us. Take care.
As you sit here and listen to both Jeff and I talk this morning, is understand what risk is. Understand how you get infected. How are you vulnerable? And it's really important that we look at this through the lens of infectious diseases, which are caused by viruses, bacteria, and other germs. If you get a virus on your hand, will you get sick? No. Will you get infected? No. When you get a virus on your skin, you wash it off with soap and water. And we know how the soap molecules act like a crowbar, and they break open that virus or that bacteria, and that virus and bacteria becomes inactivated or killed. And so it's really important. Soap and water works really well. What we need to understand is, how does the virus infect us? How does the virus get into our bodies and make us sick? It has to get into our bodies. And it gets into our bodies through our holes. And it's really important we understand what our holes are. We have to protect our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. And right now, throughout the country, there's so much emphasis on protecting your nose and your mouth. But if you see how I travel to the airport, in an Uber, in a taxi, in a car, through the airport, into a meeting, you'll see that I always wear a face covering and a face shield or safety goggles to protect my eyes. So I'm protecting all my holes, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, all the time. And I do that for a reason, because I know that the science behind viruses we've known for years, I can get infected through my eyes, nose, and mouth. But it's also really important. Why do we tell everyone to wash their hands? Well, we tell you to wash your hands because we touch things. And I'm going to talk more about surfaces in a minute. But right now, we touch things, and then what do we do with these hands? We touch our face. And as we touch our face, we transfer virus from our hands to our eyes, nose, and mouth, and that increases our chance, our likelihood, our risk of being infected and therefore getting sick with symptoms. So it's really important we understand that really clearly. The reason we protect our eyes, nose, and mouth is to prevent the virus from getting into our eyes, nose, and mouth. And we also know that as we do more cleaning and disinfectant with the products that are out there, there are safety data sheets that we have to follow, and we need to protect our eyes, nose, and mouth as well. But more important, we need to keep our hands away from our face, and that's really, really hard to do. It's interesting that a lot of the discussion that we've received, and Jeff and I deal with on a daily basis, is, well, how long does this virus, or any virus, survive outside of the body on any surface, in any environment? And research is ongoing all the time. And that ongoing research is quite exciting for me as a disease detective or as an epidemiologist. And I've been doing this now for nearly 30 years, studying how people get sick, what increases their vulnerability, how do they need to get exposed to the virus, how much of the virus do they need? And even research that came out just recently on October the 7th provided more information on how long this virus survives on surfaces. Now, we know the hard surfaces, the non-porous surfaces, it survives there. But we're learning all the time. And this new research that came out also looked at how long does the virus survive on surfaces and the effect of temperature and humidity. And those results are really important that everyone understands. And the challenge we have is that these exciting scientific studies are published in journals that probably none of you ever read, don't have access to, they cost money, and therefore that really critical information isn't readily available. And a study that just came out on October 7th, and I can just want to go quickly and tell you why this information is so important, is it found viable virus. So it didn't just test the presence of the virus, but also it measured how much. And it's how much of that virus, the dose, how much of that virus is present, because we know roughly how much you need to get infected and become sick with symptoms. And it found that the virus survives, and it tested surfaces like glass, stainless steel, paper, and also this was a study done in Australia by the Australian government on polymer banknotes. It's the plastic banknotes. And what it found on all these surfaces, at about 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 50% relative humidity, this virus stayed viable. It survived and remained infectious for 28 days. And that's new information. Previously, we were at about 9 to 10 days on a previous study. We are now at 28 days. This study also found that on all those surfaces, the glass, the stainless steel, the paper, the plastic banknotes, that at 104 degrees, and this is very hard for us to get any